I feel like a lot of people into thrash metal, like in the US, are kind of tunnel visioned with
Yeah,
just American thrash. So I'm always trying to like discover like new artists that are like,
Yeah.
not here.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think you guys popped up on Instagram or what? Because you guys don't even do reels.
No,
Um,
we don't. Honestly, we just started a TikTok recently though, and that's going really really well. So I
oh,
think we
is
need to
it?
do more of it because I think we need to do more of it because honestly, it's getting a lot of like it's a really good way of getting fucking new people
Attention.
listening to your shit and finding new people. It's
Yeah,
crazy, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if you
So
know
I
the
think.
band Morning High.
yeah.
Um, they have like 70K
I
on
know, I
Yeah,
Instagram
I
know.
know.
just from like
But
fucking memes. It's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, they just all I see of them is getting slated. Honestly,
yeah,
that's all I see. And I saw that they apparently they nicked a Slayer riff or something, and I
Oh,
was like,
really?
yo, yeah. And one
uh,
of their songs is like the exact same riff from Halloween or something, and I was like, bro,
yeah.
I to be fair, I fuck with their riffs. They're actually like pretty cool riffs, but I don't know. I haven't got anything against them personally. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I guess me
we'll
neither.
see.
Like it's
literally.
kind of sad, because it's
Yeah,
like would have Metallica been doing this shit back in the day? You know?
exactly, exactly,
Where it's
Well,
exactly.
like
Well,
James Hetfield spinning around and crawling and stuff. It's like, what the fuck am I looking at?
yeah. Yeah, literally,
we
literally.
just come out with a video where
We're
in Dima saying punches in.
Yeah. Punches him with like a dog or something,
Yeah,
or
literally.
whatever happened there. They have, Morning High. I haven't really listened to them. I watched
No?
a YouTube video where it was like this guy who had like 100,000 subs who was just fucking trashing them.
Yeah,
Um,
Really?
but honestly, that's all you see on TikTok and stuff. Everyone like fully
No,
fucking
bullying
digs
them.
on
Like
them. Like they're like these guys are
they
like
just breathe
just
and then
shit.
saying,
But
"Oh,
like
that's
to
the
be
best."
honest, I I don't know why. To be honest, like
They're just trying to do what they
do what
do.
they do what they do exactly. But I
you
mean,
gotta do what you have to do to survive.
exactly. They seem to be doing very successful. So I would tunnel vision the fucking we're doing great instead of taking all the hate
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah,
But
yeah. 70K is
honestly,
pretty good for like a band, a
that's
thrash metal
fucking
band
huge.
starting
I know.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And they play in the Whiskey, a
yeah.
Go Go, and some other big venues. I know from America and shit. And I was like, damn,
Like,
I will
fair
say
play. Like,
this about Morning High, though. They have maybe the worst album covers I have ever seen.
yes, hundred
yeah,
percent. I know. I was like, it was just a photo of their like live show with some fucking shitty font. I was like, what the fuck? It's just
Yeah.
no F into it at all.
It's like, did you
It's
edit this on Snapchat or something? It's like, what
literally,
the fuck
honestly,
am I looking at?
honestly.
The new they put out a
Fucking
single I saw it. It has like it's like the first real album cover they ever put out. So it's
yeah.
like that's cool, but whatever. You guys have a sick cover with the curb stomp thing.
yeah.
I
Honestly,
wanna
that was
before we get to that though, I just want to know, is there two versions of this band that exist right now?
oh
Because
no. So
Oh no, I
yeah,
need to sort
fuck
it out.
me.
So
We do need to
basically,
sort that. So
unreleased
we
night, on release night, I had everything set up, like on DistroKid, everything was ready to go. And we were like, oh, it's gonna happen. We're gonna release this and it's gonna be perfect. Like, we released it, shit went wrong, and then we realized that instead of because we wanted to change our name on Spotify from exhaust
because it was all
with oh,
caps.
yeah,
We
to
wanted to change it so it was just
lowercase.
like capital E and then
Yeah.
okay,
And then I tried that, and then instead of just going, oh, they just want to change the name, it went, oh, they
made
want to
a
make
new
another
account.
account.
Oh.
So I've got to appeal to Spotify and be like, no, this is the situation. I just want this changed.
Yeah,
yeah,
we really need to sort it out because honestly, when it happened, I was stressing. Everything else is fine, like on Apple
Yeah.
Music, YouTube, and stuff. There are
Some
two
people
accounts
don't
on
listen to
YouTube
it, but
though. I
it's still a
think.
bit like, fuck's sake, like,
Yeah, it's like like it doesn't add up with
no.
everything else on the normal account. It's like on his own fucking thing, which is shit. But we do need to sort it out, honestly,
Yeah, I'll try and sort
like
it out today
ASAP
after this.
yeah.
for sure, for
Even on
sure.
Metal Archives, you know, I was like, oh shit, where's the new single and stuff? And then the Spotify, so I'm like, oh damn, was there like some issues with members
Yeah.
and stuff? And there's like a
Yeah.
No, honestly, it was such a fuck up. But we really, because we did
that's
appeal
hilarious.
we did appeal for the change, and they
Yeah,
said it
but
would take like a week, and nothing's. We need to really run it up. But
yeah.
we're just so caught up in our own lives. It's like we're just not getting around to it. But we need to ASAP. If it's affecting it like that. Hmm.
Well, I just wasn't really sure, you know, because it's like,
Yeah,
you know, it makes me think that there's like two, like
two.
maybe
Yeah,
the members split off and they're like, we're gonna do our own version
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
something. So
No,
I,
honestly, it was just a huge fuck up on our end. A
Yeah.
big
well, the
mistake.
single's sick, you know,
Yeah.
so you
I
know,
think
I
it's a
feel like
huge upgrade.
huge upgrade, you know,
So
production and
was it?
songwriting and everything. Is this leading to like a bigger picture, like a new
Yeah,
EP, a new record?
yeah. So what
Yeah.
we're thinking of doing, we talked to our manager because we wanted to record an album, but he really sat us down and like humbled us quite a lot. He really did make sense though. So he was saying to us like, "Oh, you could like record an album or a single, so then you release a single, and you'll have an album, and it'll be like, oh, we've released an album, but then our following won't be that big, and it just won't be as like big of a thing as
Push.
we expect it to be." So he suggested he's done it with other bands that he's managed that we release like an EP in a few months, then another EP, and then just do that tour. Now, because we are actually on his roster, he's going to get us gigs all over the UK now. We've already got a few gigs
Sick.
booked, or like in a few cities, which is so like surreal to me. So I
Yeah,
think like another year of that and doing some festivals and stuff. There's a really big festival in Manchester for underground bands that sells out every year, and he's getting
yeah.
us on that. So I think the more we do that for like a year, we'll get a good following. We'll get more people behind us, and then when we're ready, we'll put like 100% effort into an album. Because I spoke to Ed Repka, is his name?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I really want to get artwork by him done because he's like done all the
That'd be sick.
really cool shit. Yeah, I know. But he sent me the price list and it's fucking
That
expensive.
wasn't that sick.
However, it's so worth it. Like that'd be the product, you know.
Yeah, he
So
did like Rust in Peace, right? And like Peace
yeah,
Cells and
he did. He
stuff.
did a Eternal Nightmare. He's done Municipal Waste.
Yeah.
Evil
He's
Dead.
done Evil Dead. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Evil Dead, man. Honestly, it's so sick.
Yeah, that would
So
be a
yeah,
sick artist to get, especially with the whole like
100%.
thrash is back thing and like kind of returning, you know, to the
Yeah,
old
that's what I
ways.
mean. I don't want to like say we're bringing back 80s thrash because it is what it is. But I love the like old school like artwork and the old school tones and stuff. I just love that. I'm
What we
not a
want.
huge fan of the new stuff. I just like the old stuff. So I'm not saying like we're bringing the shit back, but we're just using the old shit. I think.
Yeah, define the new stuff, like stuff that old bands are putting out today or kind of like new wave
Mm,
of thrash.
it's more just like because it's not. I don't know. The production sound is a huge one, but then I think that just
Yeah.
happens because I think our new song sounds like it doesn't sound old schoolish, but it does sound a lot better than
It's a good middle
the other
ground.
shit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the new thrash though. Like I fucking love Municipal Waste. I love Violator. I love Havoc, Dead Heat, shit like that. They're so good, and they are just like I don't know.
Good.
I have nothing against the like new wave of thrash at all. I just love the 80s
Good. Yeah.
anyway. So I love the 80s and I love how raw it is and how like
I think
just
I think it
the
was just the
attitude.
production sound.
Yeah.
Because I reckon
Yeah.
if you got like a Municipal Waste song, but with the production style of like Sepultura when they recorded Beneath the Remains, like it
It would sound pretty
really old school.
so,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
100%.
getting that old school sound is really only possible if you have like old school equipment. Unless I'm wrong,
And
I'm not a sound guy by any means, and I don't claim to be.
no,
That's how I would imagine how you'd get that sound.
Me
yeah,
neither, but it must be, you know. And I feel like a lot of
yeah,
bands today, like even like I love Testament's new releases, but it feels like they
100%.
just set the dials to a certain level, just keep it. Like they all these bands, like, you know, even like some great like Violence, you know, I love their new EP that came out, but it feels like all these
Yeah,
bands, it's the same guitar tone, you know, it's like the same
yeah,
production. And
It's the
it's
drum. The one for me is the drums. Sorry to interrupt you. It's
no
the
worries.
drums. I am.
Yeah, yeah,
It's the
yeah.
big. I have a big thing with the drums. It's the double bass. They all sound really like. It's the
Electric.
snare and the double bass. I love. I really. I'm not into hardcore, but I love the snare sound of in like the hardcore scene. It's such a like
So,
punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that. It's like a great example in World in a World. The snare on that, I love the sound of that. It's so good, and just I just love the old school sound and the attitude and how raw it is, honestly. But I'm not
Yeah,
slating
me
the new
too.
sound because the new sound is like it just happens, you know. But yeah,
Yeah, it's just a lot of these big bands kind of hiring all the same, producers, I guess. And it's like all
yeah,
the, industry standard equipment, I guess.
exactly.
Where, some of those old like Megadeth records and stuff, it's like Dave remasters them like a million times, but sometimes like that first mix is like
Yeah,
so good.
mm-hmm.
So are you guys like
100%.
just like striving for like to eventually get to the point where it's like it's an old
Yeah,
school sound, but like it has like maybe like
Our,
modern production where it's like it actually sounds good, but has that
yeah,
like old school tone, I guess.
our
yeah,
goal is to create the music that we want to make. Like we're looking at like because we were talking about like kind of going a little bit into like the crossover thrash kind of sound as well. Like I think it was like a few days ago.
yeah,
So like that kind of production would be cool, but it's just trying to find the right people. We were talking
yeah.
to a guy, our singer knows a guy, he's like a sound guy. So we're gonna see if he can do like our live sound for us. So he might be
Yeah, I think that's a great idea because,
Nice.
like, instead of us having just some random guy from the venue with the
like
same shit for every band, like we'll have our own distinctive like, and the guy will just like get used to like how we have our set as well. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it'll sound great every time, which is a great idea. But I really just want to make an album. Like that'll be my mission complete. I have a record in front of me of music I've
A
created.
vinyl, yeah.
Yeah, like a
That'd be
vinyl
huge.
or like a
Yeah,
Yeah.
full
like
length. Yeah.
physical, full length
Physical
album.
music.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Hundred
maybe
percent.
potentially do that where you can take like maybe two EPs and combine them,
Mm-hmm.
and
Hundred
kind of like
percent.
just re-record them, maybe like add
Yeah,
some bits to them, extend them,
yeah,
shorten them, add an extra couple songs. That's always a
for sure.
possibility where that might be, a justified,
Yeah.
hit up Ed Repka, for
Yeah.
shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys
Hundred
seem to
percent.
have the whole fucking thing going. You have a manager already. It seems like you're signed to a label.
No,
Um,
we're not
Well,
signed
not
to a
yet.
label, but not but he recommends we just create music and just release it anyway. We can't get anything physical like through a label though. But we can do it ourselves, I think. But I'd rather do it through a label, is what I meant. Sorry.
yeah, are you guys not signed to Seymour Records?
No,
Not
I
anymore.
don't know why we fucking did that. It was honestly it was a fucking massive.
It
It
is
was a
idea.
huge fuck up. So oh my god. So this is back like a year ago, or maybe before. And there was a band we know from Essex, and they were starting up this little thing, and they were gonna like do everything DIY, and they were gonna do it like they were gonna go through with it and commit to it, but it was such a fuck up. Like I don't know
It's,
why we even
I
decided
don't
to
think
fucking
it,
do that.
What
I
makes it
don't
a
think
fuck up?
Oh,
because
they
they
just
don't. There was
they
no
would
press
they
or anything. There
there
was
was
no
nothing. There was
movement
nothing.
for sale.
There
It's
was
just
just
the
him on
name.
his it was just him on his phone saying, "Oh, yeah, I'm a label, and let's get it going." I was like,
That's
"Bro, no." But
all
a
it
Like
few, a
takes
few,
nowadays.
that it is true. There are a few labels that have
I'm a
followed
Ford
us
Fiesta.
though. So,
Hit up
yeah,
Tommy Stewart,
he's oh yeah, he's with that. Is it like is it
Black Duma
do?
Records.
Damn, I might
Could
have
be.
to.
I think that might
It
be.
could be an
I feel
idea.
like it might be better maybe to do a local label or something that's like
I think
that
at
you can actually
first,
drive to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got this guy from Birmingham. He said that um, we could sign with his label, but it's really small and there's no metal bands on it, so it's a risk. However, he said he's got his own home like studio built, so we could use his studio for free for however long if we're signed to him. But he owns the music though, which is a bit of a
Especially
dilemma.
for a
But
label that small.
yeah, exactly. And like, but there are a lot of I don't know. I just don't know what to do, to be honest, because I think it's such a good. He
I
was
think
like
it's
really
a
selling it to us.
Yeah. Because he
But
knows what he's talking about. Like when I was listening to him, like he was just talking about the label and the people he's met inside like that music industry. And we were just
yeah,
kind of sat there, well, fuck me. This is the first person we've actually talked to who knows what the fuck he's doing about
yeah,
music.
he sounded like he knew what he's doing. He said he's done music engineering for like 7 years and he's got a degree in it and stuff. And I was like, that's
Fuck.
cool. But he hasn't got any metal bands on it. But he's arranged like metal shows and they've been like sellouts. So is a sellout a good thing or a bad thing? Wait,
Like,
No, it depends on what context. If you're saying you're a
like
sellout,
he
I
sold it.
mean bad thing. But
Oh,
if you're saying you
but
sold
he
out a
sold
show,
it out. Yeah, he
yeah,
sold out. They sell out shows like this. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So that might
yeah.
be
So he's a good like producer. Like he's good at
yeah,
booking shows.
well. He can get physical stuff as well though, because he's recorded stuff with other like people have recorded with him, and he's actually got like physical stuff. And he said he can get merch done and stuff as well. So it might be something to look into for now because we are really
Of
like
course.
small still. So then it could be just a stepping stone, and then we can get. It's just like that's what it's all about now. It's just like slowly, gradually getting bigger and bigger and getting a wider, diverse crowd
audience,
following us. Like
yeah,
Well, it's cool to, be outside looking in because I can't imagine what it is like starting out as a thrash band, especially like,
honestly,
I was in California for a month and like was like hanging out with some like the local thrash bands in that scene. And even they
yeah,
were like telling me some fucking horror stories of just like starting out and even like, where you have to
honestly,
like it's not really about music anymore, really. Like
no,
like
it's
labels, if they'll be like, yeah, this is great, even if it's Kill 'Em All you guys have, it's like this is good, but you don't have 10,000 followers.
I
So
know
we
it's
want nothing
bullshit.
to do with you. It's
Honestly, it is.
it sucks, man. What is it like navigating like the UK thrash metal scene? Like is it even like does it exist?
There
uh,
is. I think for us, it's been a mental journey because like where we are from, we are in like a little town full of old people. Like that is not a lie. Like
yeah.
it is just a
It's
town.
literally you'll walk outside and you'll see at least 10 old people.
Yeah, it's just like it's just like a family community type of thing. It's like it's not a city. It's just like a little town.
Quite a dead
But
thrash.
honestly, yeah. But around the UK, I think there is slowly. I know there is like thrash bands from the UK, like Zentrix, like Acid Rain, shit
Yeah.
like that. But there are a lot of like younger guys like us around the UK, and there are a few bigger thrash bands as well. But we want to get to that level now where it's like, well, we're just slowly like we're with UK thrashers, and they have a few bands, and we're just getting gigs with them, supporting them around. And I'm sure that'll just get us more of a following because those bands have got like a good like 8K followers and stuff.
Mhm.
So I
We're nearly
think
on.
it's difficult because we're so young too. Like we're not experienced with a lot. Like we're only Ethan's 19, I'm 18. Like we
Yeah.
haven't we
Great
we
head
can't
start
drive.
though.
That's true. I think
Yeah.
that's another huge thing because there is another band that are like we're like not that far behind, but they're like in their late 20s, and it's like we're quite young, and we're like it is going up, and it's quite surreal because like there are people around the UK like listening to our stuff and buying our merch and shit. And it's crazy. It's really
Well,
surreal,
it's like the
but
kid that was
it's
you and was like, "Oh, you're from Exhaust." I was like,
yeah. Yeah. I was in work and some guy outside recognized me from being in exhaust, which was I
That's
was so
awesome.
fucking. I know. I was there fucking cleaning a grill, and bro said I'm from. He recognized me from exhaust. I was like, that's so sick. I was going crazy about it, but it is slowly climbing. It's just a lot of hard work and a lot of money.
So
"Yeah,
That's the
locally,
only
what
thing.
kind of bands are you guys playing with? Because like in the US, a lot of local guys will play with like it doesn't really matter. Like I've seen thrash bands
Yeah,
play with doom and punk and like
100%.
hardcore,
kind of like that
whatnot.
here, kind of
Same
When we
like
thing
that."
over
start,
there.
yeah, it's
Because
it's pretty similar. Well, like there's a venue in Cardiff, which is like the main city in Wales, and there's a venue which it only costs £90 to
higher,
hire the venue out for the night. So I myself have organised like 3 or 4 gigs there. So it's with us, and then I've asked like big bands, not huge, but like the bigger bands with UK thrashers to come and headline it. So then there'll be like I try and make it like a thrash night. So there's a band from Bristol that are like they're a thrash band, and then Brain Snail, they were like a band from
Aberdeen.
Aberdeen or something. It's some quiet town, but they're not local, but they're like there's not really many bands. Like I'd assume where you're from.
It's kind of like we have to kind of mix and match some of the gigs
Yeah,
because of a lack of thrash bands, and it's also the fact of there's just not many metal bands in our local area. Full stop.
Yeah.
Like
Locally though, I think like what would you class as local? Because I like local to us, what to me is like Cardiff and Swansea. I think that's like local
Okay.
as for scene wise, which is two cities.
yeah,
Like, but there are like there's a lot of metal bands, but there's not many like up and coming thrash. There are thrash bands, but there's not many up and coming.
yeah.
Where
So, yeah.
in here, it's like every city has at least one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 to 100. Like there,
Yeah, 100%.
especially in LA, there are so
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
many thrash bands
See,
that are like
I get
around your
that.
age,
Honestly, it'd
and
be great.
it's crazy, man. And just to build upon what you were saying, or what I guess your manager was saying, it is interesting because I just thought of it. Pretty much if you classify you guys as like fourth wave of thrash metal, every single artist, is putting out EPs.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you know Labyrinth, they're pretty big.
Yeah,
In
they're
that
class. They're a really good band.
they're just doing EPs.
Yeah.
Every band now is just doing EPs. Mortalis, another band from LA. It's
Yeah, I think
crazy.
it's
Do you know Voida?
Voider, I don't think I do know.
No, I know they've done a few gigs with Labyrinth. Labyrinth are fucking sick though. I've
Oh,
listened to a few of their stuff.
Void, right?
Void.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
They're great.
I love them. So they like how they are. Like I think that's so fucking cool. That's what like I aspire to be. Because
That's
like, how
another
they dress is
Houston
really old
band.
school.
Yeah.
They're really old school. It's fucking awesome, honestly.
Yeah,
I know
great,
a few bands from America. They follow us. A few bands follow us, but yeah. In the UK, there's not a huge. Oh, go on.
No, go on. It's about the album.
I was in the UK. I just don't think there's a huge following for thrash. I don't like.
No,
it's just metal, new metal, and like metalcore and slam, and that's the thing with like regards to like
slam,
with like with like labels now. I think like I think now it's like it's more about like can you be the next? Can you be heavier and like bigger and better and louder? And it's just like I just think it's like slowly it's gotten like
who can be the loudest and the fastest.
Yeah, who's going to be the loudest, the fastest. Who's going to be like the lowest tune in, and there's no need for it. I don't like just because you drop it to A doesn't mean it's heavy. Like you can make a heavy riff in E standard, in my opinion. I just think that's what's like it's metalcore. I think I just hate metalcore.
Me too. Yeah. A lot of shit talking on this episode.
Yeah.
I can't stand metalcore, man.
Neither, man.
Yeah, it's like I also feel like so many of that shit it's been done. It's like we're gonna be the fastest. It's like, well, I feel like what boundary? What is the boundary? And I feel like it's even like doom metal and death. Yeah, it's like how heavy or how fast can you even go anymore? I think it's more about originality, and it's hard to be original now.
It is. It is. And there's just so many like I don't know. There's just so many bands that are just knocking off other bands as well, and they just think they're trying to be other bands, which is such a like that I've noticed anyway. And I just don't. And that's quite. And it's quite disheartening for like to me because. Like we're trying to be original and make our own stuff, something from scratch, and they're getting appreciated more than we are by doing something that's already like, yeah. Like I rate the like it was fucking huge, but it's like they're getting more when it's like they're just copying another band when like another band's being original.
Yeah. Is it like a super competitive scene over there?
Yeah.
Like
that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, it's starting to get to that point of like we're not trying to build a community of thrashers. It's more of a look how much more attention I can get than you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
think
quite
that's how it is though.
annoying.
To getting bigger now though. I think that's like how it has to be though.
Yeah, but it's like it kind of just goes against everything that like the first wave of thrash metal went against, like in my opinion, because they kind of formed based on the fact that they loved the music and they wanted people to enjoy the same kind of anger and aggression that that music held at that time. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it totally does. And like there's always, there's such a massive community in, that Bay Area scene and just like a lot of
Yeah,
scenes today, like Houston, LA. Yeah, it's really competitive and there's some like rival bands, but like there's still a massive sense of community.
Yeah.
Where and even there was like, the classic, I feel like Megadeth and Metallica is a big example. Also,
yeah,
I think Violence and Forbidden had like a
Forbidden, yeah.
rivalry a little bit, but like healthy competition, even, Craig was saying it was all just healthy competition. And I think
yeah,
that's all
Yeah.
except maybe two bands. And I think we know what two bands I'm talking about.
yeah,
But
Yeah,
it just,
yeah,
but it just kind of sucks because just nowadays it's just to get to the top. It's not really about music anymore,
like
community
kick
or
someone
riffs.
else down.
It's
yeah.
all kind of like it's shuffling around bullshit. It's like, well, how good of a, I like your guitar playing, but
I'm better.
are you an editor?
Yeah, yeah, literally.
It's like
I know what
fucking
you mean.
bullshit.
Honestly,
Um,
it is.
yeah.
All of it.
So, I'm curious about your scene. I know we have like the big four of thrash metal here in the US, but what would you classify as the big four of UK thrash metal?
There is a big four of the UK thrash. So it's Centrix, Onslaught, Acid Rain, and another band. I know they're like because
Sabbath?
they were around. It might be because they were like the first UK thrash bands, I think, and they are like really good thrash
Yeah,
bands. And I honestly love it. But like Evil, they were really big thrash bands. They're a great fucking thrash band.
Yeah.
Torture Demon are a really good upcoming band. I'd look out for them. They're a really good thrash band. Honestly, they just supported Forbidden. They were really
yeah,
fucking cool. I want to see them live. But they're still like up and coming though. They're quite young still, so they're a really cool band. But yeah, I think Zentrix, Acid Rain, Onslaught, and it might be was it Sabbath? Sabbath?
Sabbath, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think them four would be it. But it's like I think it's just I don't think there's really been much of a huge thrash scene in the UK though. There is a good thrash band called Hellripper from Scotland. If you've not
Yeah,
sure if you heard of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
They're a really good fucking
Great.
band. They're a great band, very fast. So yeah, I think there is like scenes, but it's like
They're
I
very
don't know.
small.
It's not as big as America at all.
America's the place to be if it comes to thrash.
100%,
Have you guys
hundred
thought about
percent.
potentially coming over here?
I'd love to. Honestly, I'd
We
fucking love
one day
to.
we want to, but it's just
Hundred
about like
percent.
money and like we don't really have enough of a following. Like we have a few people listening here and there, but like would it be something that we'd go to another country for? That is kind of it would have to be a really good
Not yet.
opportunity.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
not yet. It would have to
I
be a
think
really good
slowly, the more shows
Give
we
it
do
time.
around, the more shows we do, and then the more we release, and the more about. I know it's shitty, but like we need to just use like social media to our advantage realistically because it as much as I don't want to, but like it just does get you a bigger following. It does get you more people know. It just get you noticed. Like it really does, and
that's true.
it's such a good way of getting yourself out there. And on top of doing gigs in lots of different cities as well, because
Yeah.
people will come and then they'll know you for that, and then they'll want you back. And then you release some new music, you come back with new fucking songs, and they want to see it live and it's
Yeah.
just slowly building. It's slowly going up the ladder, and then whatever happens happens. Then it's down to our manager, down to Neil.
Well, we're applying for Metal to the Masters for 2025 now.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
we're gonna hope
which is
that that brings some more following for us.
yeah, because that's like a competition where you can play Bloodstock. So if you win, there's regions like each city, and there's a It's basically just a competition, and if you win it, you get to play at Bloodstock, which is like
Yeah.
a huge festival, a metal festival in the UK. So
Yeah. Oh
if we ever
yeah.
did that, and if we ever played that, I think that would be a big fucking step forward,
Huge.
huge step, 100%, hundred
Yeah.
percent.
It seems like the place to be right now for thrash isn't the Bay Area, isn't LA, but actually Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Houston is like, because you have Hell's Heroes. That's where Labyrinth is. That's where Void
yeah,
is.
Yeah.
There's several other bands there. It's kind of a
yeah.
hellhole,
Nemesis. I'm a
but
big fan of Nemesis. They're a pretty cool band. If you heard of them,
I
I
haven't,
think they're
no.
around. I think that's around that area because they've played a few gigs with Void and stuff.
The
So
thrash?
yeah, yeah. His vocals remind me of fucking Dave Mustaine, though. They just really do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he just does sound like him. But
You don't
they're
like
pretty good
Dave's
riffs.
vocals?
They're okay. They're pretty.
Meaning no, he fucking hates them.
I don't. They're very distinctive for
You
Megadeth.
be
Like
honest.
I no,
Like, yeah, they're distinctive. For me, I just like
But
it's kind of like the whole, where it's like it's such a bad singer, it's good. I feel like
yeah,
another good example is like the Sex
right.
Pistols,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
like you could never replace the singer of that
Oh
shit,
no,
or like Lemmy,
no.
where it's like, yeah, it's not necessarily a good singer, but like,
So
that
distinctive.
is, you
it's
can
such a
never
sound.
replace it. It's so
Yeah,
100%.
weird how that
Yeah,
works.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's okay. I listen to the songs, so I can't really like if it was that bad, I wouldn't listen to it. But
yeah.
it's listenable. I'm just not a big fan of them. I don't think they're. I know you're quite a big fan of Megadeth, I believe.
I am, yeah. But it's
Yeah,
listen, man, I totally, I
yeah,
understand the criticism for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's no Freddie Mercury, he's like he
No, no.
definitely I think he's a bad singer, but like that's why I like him,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't think anyone can replace him for like,
No.
especially with like all the riffs and all that. Like it's so like distinctive. Like you couldn't replace
Very
it.
him.
Yeah, it's like it's his, but it is his band, so you could never replace it.
all right, who
No.
do you think what's an example of like a great singer in thrash then?
Oh,
Uh,
I don't know.
great singer and thrash.
What, like lyrically or like vocally?
Vocally.
I love Max Cavalera.
Quite like
Me, I don't know. There's a load. Like, I don't know what his name is in Forbidden, but the
Annihilator sings.
Forbidden one's great.
Yeah.
He's on like
Yeah.
higher end.
His
Annihilator.
vocal, he hits those high notes. They're great.
Yeah.
Um, oh,
Annihilator.
what's his name from Overkill? Uh,
Bobby Blitz.
yeah,
Bobby
Bobby Blitz.
Blitz.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
great. Oh,
That's a unique.
Chuck Billy,
Yeah,
Chuck
there you
Billy,
go.
Chuck Billy.
There you go.
Yeah, probably Chuck Billy actually. Yeah, he's insane.
I think that's so interesting where there's no really other genre of music where like the singers are famously bad because like Paul
Yeah,
Bailoff was
yeah,
pretty terrible.
yeah.
Um
I love his
listen,
attitude though.
listen, man, I love Sean Killian. I think he's
Yeah, come
great.
on. Yeah, I'm with you
But
on
but
this.
he could
His
never
voice.
be, a country
No.
singer or a
Oh,
pop singer.
his voice is so bad, but honestly, he is probably my favorite lyricist. Is that the word?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love his
yeah.
lyrics. His lyrics are fucking brilliant. I literally
So
I can
good.
sing every single fucking song of Eternal Nightmare. It's brilliant. It's a
Yeah.
great album. I
I
love it. It's my
saw I
favorite
saw
thrash.
Violence recently,
Oh
and
fuck off, man.
he sounds
Need to see him.
exactly the same. I've
He
never
does.
in no ever band I've seen ever in metal, whatever genre, I've never heard a vocalist for what I think he's 60
Oh,
now,
really?
and he
Big
sounds
fuck.
exactly like he does on Eternal Nightmare. Like
There's
I
no
even
distortion in it though. That's probably it's not fucking up his voice at all though. Probably. So it's like
yeah, because a lot of it's talking. Yes.
yeah. Honestly, but yeah, I'm so jealous because they've only played in the UK once,
Yeah.
and it was for Bloodstock,
Well, it's
and
so
they
fucking
need to
expensive now.
really.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
For what?
Megadeth didn't even they canceled their whole Australian leg because it was too expensive, and that's Megadeth,
Oh
let
man,
alone Violence or Forbidden. That's what, I feel bad for you guys
yeah,
because, even in Boston, man, I never
yeah,
get, when Violence comes around, it's like we're lucky,
Yeah.
so
hundred
you
percent.
guys must kind of be in a bubble, you never get
Yeah,
to see any of
honestly,
these
there's a
bands unless it's
few.
like
Well,
Metallica, I guess.
yeah, well, we're going to see Cannibal Corpse with Municipal Waste now
Oh, nice.
next week, and I've seen
Nice.
Municipal Waste once already, and they were fucking awesome. But this time, I want to be in the mosh pit and I want to be crowd surfing because that
Yeah.
shit is sick. And there's another band that are playing with Schizophrenia. you've heard of them.
No.
They are fucking unreal. They are so good. They're quite newish. They released an EP in 2020, and they're like a death thrash, but they are really good. So I listen to them all the time. They're a great band to look out for
Yeah, yeah.
if they come around.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah, Schizophrenia.
I might have heard that band before, or I'm just like thinking of my ex or something, but I'll check them out for sure, you
Yeah,
know.
man. They're
Are they
great band.
like they're thrash?
Yeah. It's really it's really like it's like death thrashy. It's like really fast. It's really aggressive. It's
Nice.
the standard. It's like Beneath the Remains, like that aggressive.
Is
In my opinion, that's
blackened
how I think it is.
thrash the right term for
Might
that?
It
be.
might be Blackened
Blackened
Thrash. Yeah,
thrash?
it might be.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
What I was saying earlier about bands not really coming over you guys, I take that back because I just remembered you saw like Exodus played
Exodus.
there recently
Yeah,
with like
man.
and fucking Exhumer.
Exhumer and Hyrax. Yeah,
And yeah,
we
fucking
went.
Hyrax, man.
Yeah.
Bro, it was unreal. But because he said though, he gave us the opportunity to support
Oh
him.
yeah,
He
so
said that
how
we
did that
support
go?
him.
Give a little backstory before you get into that.
So
You were on the
obviously
podcast,
Yeah.
and Mem, was like, "Yo, you could, what he offered to let you guys in for free or something."
he offered us to support him. So they were doing two shows. They were in the UK. They were doing the one with Exodus in London, and then they were doing another one, just Exhumer and Hyrax in Plymouth. So he said, "Oh, you could come and support us." So I did follow it up, and I messaged him, and he was responding to shit, but it just didn't happen. I'm not like,
Damn.
I know, it was such an opportunity. I was like, fuck, man, we could like this could be it. Like this could be the step, but it was just
So
like
what
it didn't
happened?
happen. So, who was the other guy who was on it? The one who did all the artwork?
Mark DeVito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he offered us to get us in to see X because he's good friends with Gary Holt. He said so. He said that we could maybe get on the guest list to go see Exodus
Yeah.
with Exhumer and Hyrax, and we did get on it. We got
Sick.
on the guest list. So we traveled all the way to London, which was like a 3-hour coach. So
Literally,
we got
so
all the way
excited.
to London. I've never been to London before in my life, so I didn't know
Yeah.
where to go. But we got there, and I was really scared we weren't going to be on there because it was so like,
Yeah, you were
are
shitting
we
it
going to be on
outside.
it? I know. I was like, are we going to be on there though? Like,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
but we got it
I
there.
asked you, man.
We got it there. We were on it. We got straight up to the front. Hyrax come on. They were fucking unreal. They were great, honestly. He looked at me and he fucking went like that at me.
Peyton's
Come
great.
on. He was great. And then Exhumer were fucking great. They were really heavy. And Mem actually recognized us. We were at the
I was
front
yelling. I
and we
was
we
screaming,
both were
podcast,
yelling, the
podcast.
podcast. and he fully recognized us. And
And he was
yeah,
like,
it was
"Oh,
sick. And then Exodus were fucking
oh,
unreal.
So
They
good.
were absolutely unreal. They were like you see Metallica now, and it's like have you seen Metallica now? Like
I
saw you
saw
quite
them, I want
recently.
to say 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Was there any like movements, or was everyone just there? Like,
Nah, everyone's kind of just a lot of old heads there, a lot of people just staring.
yeah, but like
that's a
you got
fun bit there."
Exodus, and the venue was so small. It was really surreal because like Exodus are fucking huge, man. Like they are like
Should have been in the
huge,
big
but
four. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. But they were like on a venue that was like something we could play on. It was so small, and honestly, as soon as they come on, I got fucking launched to the front, and I was just in the pit the whole time. It
I
was
was getting
unreal.
crushed. I had a bruise on my
Yeah,
ribs.
literally, it was
Yeah.
great.
That
I
band makes you
definitely see it again.
bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
100%. But like honestly, he said Steve Souza said that it's 40 years next year on There by Blood. So I think they might be doing another tour or something, which it wouldn't surprise me,
They
honestly.
just
So
announced, and they're doing it right now, like a US tour, like Havoc
with
and shit.
Havoc, yeah, Deadbeat
Yeah,
and
but
Havoc and stuff, yeah.
they should just do that record in its entirety, for the
Oh,
40
100
year.
fucking percent.
I'll drive anywhere for that shit.
Same, honestly.
So amazing.
Honestly.
Yeah, they're probably like it's hard to determine what like the best old band live is right now, I think Exodus is definitely, because Gary's fucking
Oh,
there, you know.
yeah.
Bro, he
Things to go
honestly, it
live,
was so
I'd have to
surreal.
admit.
Like every fucker, like when we saw Hyrax and Exuma, like I was there, I was fucking like going for it. I wasn't moving or nothing though, but everyone was kind of just like there, like watching. But there was energy. But I
Yeah.
swear to God, it was so it was really, it gave me like goosebumps a bit because
It's like a
Exodus,
switch.
they come on. There was the red lights come on when Exodus come on, and honestly, I get pushed right to the front, and everybody was going crazy for Exodus, and I was like, "Yo, this is nuts."
No
So
one
I
gave
think
a
Exodus,
face at that point. Everyone was
hundred
just like,
percent. I've seen Anthrax live, and they were okay, but
Yeah.
it was such a different experience seeing them. They were so tight, and like all the songs they played were fucking unreal. They played a lot of old school songs as well. Like they played a good like 6 songs, and then he
yeah,
said, "Oh, everything else
that's
now is
like,
not past." Yeah, he said everything else now is not past 1990. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah,
it was
jump in the
crazy,
fucking
honestly,
pit. Yeah,
hundred
well, it's like
percent.
the energy tied to that band too. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean? Like the
crazy.
stories, like even like Mark DeVito, I've had him on the podcast like a few
Yeah,
times. And just some of the people telling me about the Exodus days, like being in that is the thrash metal band. It's not
100%.
Metallica, it's not
Nope,
that's
Megadeth, it's fucking
it's Exodus,
Exodus, you know.
100%.
Like it's, you know, even, you know, Kirk Hammett, you know, there's bits of it everywhere. Every band, uh I believe it was Mark DeVito, I think. No, it was David Ellefson who told me that when Kerry King was in Megadeth, um
Yeah, yeah,
he saw Exodus play live and he's like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do with Slayer. I know exactly what I'm gonna do with my next band. And
you've
then, you
spoken
know,
with Dave Ellison.
I did, yeah, for
Oh man, that's
exactly
crazy.
30 minutes. It was just, it's like, it's so hard because it's like, what the fuck do you ask him that hasn't been asked, you know?
Yeah, literally.
So I was like, ask some very basic shit, you know, and I don't know, like I've thought about reaching out again, but it's like, what the fuck, you know, maybe ask him about like Risk or something. I don't but you know, because I don't want to ask about the shit that went down. It's so funny. I forget what fucking band posted it. It's kind of a modern band, but the day it happened, they posted an album art of like David Ellefson, and it said "Bust in Peace," and I'm like, "Fucking, of course, motherfucker!"
Yeah, like what the fuck, like
Like that shit, fucking echoed through like all of metal when that shit happened.
yeah,
I'll be honest. I'll say this, all right, because I'll defend Ellefson and say that I don't think he should have been kicked from Megadeth. I think Dave Mustaine wanted an
sorry.
excuse.
I don't know the law here.
All right, I'll
What's
give you some
happened?
backstory. So
Yeah.
let's
Dave
go storytelling.
Mustaine was not a fan of Ellison. Um, I think what
Really?
happened, I think the breaking point for him was the Kingmaker situation. I'm not sure if you're
Okay.
familiar, but the album Super Collider starts with this song called Kingmaker. And
Right.
in the beginning of it, there's this little like bass like noodling, and it's
Okay.
cool. I
Yeah,
love it. I think it's sick. Dave likes to have Mustaine likes to have complete control. He
Hmm.
was kind of pissed when
yeah,
that happened, and he was very passive aggressive about it, apparently, from what I've heard. And since then has kind of like, apparently Ellefson has said that Mustaine was kind of looking for an excuse, you know,
yeah,
to boot him. And
Yeah.
then that was the, okay, here we go. Get the fuck out of the band when that shit happened.
Fuck.
yeah.
I think, you know, whatever about it, I don't think it was something where people were saying, you know, is he gonna do time? You know, it's like he didn't break
Yeah.
the law in any sense, you know. Yeah, it was kind of
Yeah.
weird. And he was
Damn.
married and it was a
Damn.
fan. But it's like, you know, uh,
Really?
I think, yeah. It was someone I think he
Wow.
met at like a meet and greet or something. Um,
Fucking hell.
but I
Damn.
guess still doing the rock
Okay.
star lifestyle. That's a
Yeah.
thing. Here's the thing. Here's some like a learning lesson for you guys. You know, fans, just be careful. You know, don't shit where you eat. All right. That shit can bite you in the ass.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
done to so many bands, and Ellefson's a great example of that. And he's got Kings of Thrash and stuff now, but it's just crazy because like I didn't even know it happened until I went on Twitter and I followed a million Megadeth accounts because Megadeth is like my favorite thrash band.
Yeah.
And that's how I found out because the video was on my feed and I go, what the fuck? I
Wait,
was
what video?
uh
Wait.
oh, do you not know everything that
No,
happened?
I don't.
It's a video.
Wait,
All right.
whoa.
Let me okay. I'll have to backpedal now. I thought you were
Yeah,
aware.
sorry.
So
No.
Ellefson, I guess recorded a video of him, spanking it to a fan in a hotel
Well,
room.
recently, like,
I'd say maybe like a couple years ago.
God damn it.
so he's old still, like,
And yeah. This was 2 years ago.
Was the woman like quite a young?
She was like 18, 19, like your age. So
Yo,
Dude, bro.
so yeah, make whatever conclusions you want.
Damn.
But
No.
that
Get it,
happened.
man.
She recorded it. Hey, she recorded it, I guess, and
What a
then
flex on
posted
her,
it
though.
online. And then you can still find it, but it's everywhere, and then
really didn't
he
know.
pushed, I think he pushed legal action on her.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's going on there anymore.
Fucking hell.
But
That's crazy.
the morning it happened, I didn't find out from some, Loudwire article
Yeah.
or something. I was on Twitter and the video came up.
Fucking
And
hell.
it fucking, I was
What
just
the
kind
fuck am I watching?
I was walking around all day with fucking dark circles under my eyes, being like, what the fuck did I see this
Honestly.
morning? And it's like, is this the new music video or something? It was just so disturbing, man. And then what happened? And then Mustaine canned him, and it was this big drama. And then he formed Dieth, and I think Dieth is sick, but it's a fucking mess. It's crazy. And then I saw Megadeth last week, and they've got the new bassist, who's good. But Jesus, some of the politics around here with thrash are just fucking so tiring.
Yeah,
Like it's always some bullshit that happens like that. Where
that's crazy, bro. That's fucking nuts. Whoa, I did not. Whoa,
I can't believe you didn't know that.
No, I didn't know nothing. What the fuck?
Well, that was you guys were like,
what happened when we started Exhaust?
yeah. What were you, 16 when that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So fuck.
Right.
Bit of history for you, some Megadeth lore for you guys.
Literally.
So yeah, just be aware. A lesson learned from that. Be careful. Don't be sending any fucking shit to fans, because if they find a way of saving that shit, they'll keep it and hold that shit over you.
That's so illegal, though. No, like if that ever happens to me, like I'm not great with shit like that. But if that ever happens to me, bro, I'll be pushing legal action ASAP.
Yeah, well, Ellefson's doing.
Yeah, I don't blame
What do you
him,
mean
bro.
you're not great with that?
Like, I don't know. No, I don't really. But if anything gets released, bro, without my fucking...
Man, if I see your cock on my For You page or something
Bro.
like that, I'll be messaging you.
Bro, shut the fuck
Listen, that reel's gonna blow up.
yeah, 100%.
That's fucked.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm a bit embarrassed.
Yeah, well, he's doing his thing. You guys have no fucking shit, going on now with that, so just keep going. Don't make any of those
100%.
mistakes. You said you're working on music currently.
Yeah, we're making
Yeah.
we're making a lot of new material.
So this is for the new EP coming out.
Yeah. Well, we've got more songs than we need for the EP. We're just like deciding what's what, and like we're just trying to make
and like
we're just trying to make a load, and then we're just we're using what we use, and then we decide like what type of style we want the EP to be, and then we'll choose a a selective of songs that fit that style. We'll get that artwork done, and then I think we're gonna try and record it like March next year, ish time, or we might start recording it earlier and then release it around March time. We're not sure yet, though. We are discussing it like at this point in time. So there's no like definitive time.
Set in stone.
No.
Are you guys gonna put out more singles for it, or just like?
I'm not sure. I think
We're still discussing.
Maybe, yeah, we might put one more out. I think, but I think maybe like a lot of like for the release of the EP would be great, and it'd be a huge thing if we just like do it correct and we get gigs for it and stuff. I think we get big feedback from it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Hell yeah! So Curb Stomp's gonna be on it.
We literally discussed this yesterday.
Yeah.
So
oh really?
Yeah. So we were thinking. I personally think we should leave Curb Stomp on his own because it's like it's a step up from the old stuff.
It's more of a.
So it's more of just like this is what it is. So like that's like the thing, and then the EP is just like more of that. So I think yeah. So I personally think we should leave it, but like it's still in the talks. It's still in the talks.
Well, at the
moment,
we're
not too sure.
But we gotta wait for the other members.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what's I keep forgetting. So are you guys in high school, out of high school, in college?
I work full time. He's in college. The other guys, the singer works and he's in college, and then the other guys just work full time. So three of us work full time, and then we all have jobs, I believe, except Ethan because he just left his. But yeah. So we're not in education really.
Yeah. So how do you balance like your normal day with being in a thrash metal band?
It's like having two fucking jobs, mate. Honestly, it's like having two jobs. I swear to God, it's fucking stress. But no, it's not too bad. I really enjoy it. I'm doing all the DIY stuff myself, like with Ethan, like organizing shit, like getting shit ready and sorting gigs out and just making sure shit's getting done. I love doing it all myself, honestly. Like it's just I really get a big enjoyment out of doing it all myself. Like there's some stuff people can do it for me, but I just enjoy doing it. So I just work, and then in the evenings, like anything that needs to be done regards to us, I get it all done. So that's the Instagram, the TikTok, like talking to our manager and shit like that. We usually have a meeting with him once a month, so
I run it, but then I run the TikTok. So
okay, so it's the two of you that mainly control the band.
Yeah, because we kind of not all right.
That sounds so bad.
Well, that's it's fine. Sometimes a lot of bands it's just one person.
I wouldn't say we control it. I wouldn't say we control it, but we do control it. We just organize. We've done it ourselves since the beginning, and the other guys have literally just come in like a few months ago. So like, it would be a bit silly just to like throw them this fucking, and get them to do everything. Because like
I agree.
I think like I know, like I've had experience now for 2 years. I know how things are said and how things need to be and like what to post and shit. Same with Ethan. We always discuss stuff before we like post anything, because I feel like if I just send it to all them, they'd post bullshit all day. No offense to them, but they just would like. But I think they're slowly they're becoming like us though, and then I do want to get them more involved. Like so with like stuff like this, doing like a little interview or something, having a talk. Like I'd love to get them all on there once they've had more experience. But it's like it wouldn't make sense to have them on because they've literally like played one gig with us, like, and they haven't really done much with us yet when we've been in it for like 3 years almost now.
Yeah, like again, like rightfully so. Like you guys should be making most of the decisions.
Yeah. I wouldn't say we make most of the decisions. We just like this. There are certain things that like we do have to like kind of take control of. Yeah, like we do need to like be in charge of type of thing.
To be a bit more like working as a group, because for so long it's just been me and Dan just kind of being the driving force of the band, because when we first started, it was me, Dan, Evan, which was our original bassist and singer. Well, originally he was a guitarist, but then he switched. But then he
Yeah.
went. So after that, it was like he told us he was leaving like a year ago-ish or slightly over. And that
So
kind of
it's just been yeah, it's just been
so
me and you really, isn't it? Like
we've
with
been
like sorting stuff out at gigs
yeah,
and just posting stuff and getting shit
just
organized, like because they're all quite busy in their own lives as well, and me and Ethan know how to do it now because we've been doing it for 2 years. And like, not to sound up my own ass, it is working because we are like doing stuff.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
for sure. Yeah.
So it's not as if we're doing something and it's not working.
yeah.
You know. But I'm sure, like slowly and slowly, they're getting more involved with it as well, though, and we're letting them know
Yeah.
more stuff.
We try to get them in like more decision-making stuff now. Like with the last band practice, Dan's guitar fucking broke his guitar string.
Don't.
So we
Crying.
basically like, well, let's just talk about what we're gonna do now. And then we just had a really long conversation about where the band's going,
Our
what
plan.
we should do,
Yeah,
and it was pretty productive, even for
it was.
a day that we weren't playing music. So
Like, for example, what you guys were talking about here with like the direction of the band.
Yeah. Like,
much.
it was more like the songwriting, because some of the new songs sound like the same, and I got slated because apparently my riff sounds like a riff from an old song. It really
Oh,
fucking
really?
doesn't, and it really got on my tits because it doesn't, and it's a really really cool fucking riff. But anyway, I'm not gonna get stressed about it.
Well, there's so many riffs now.
Literally,
You know?
this is what I was saying. I was like, bro, you could just say every word. But anyway, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm gonna get pressed with it. But yeah, we are like sitting down and like being serious about like what songs are going to be about and like the style we want it to be, instead of just like. But then again, it is nice to just fuck around and like, if we make something good, we make something good. That's really like effective too.
Yeah. Well,
So
I'm glad that the band's still going. You guys almost broke
for
up,
sure,
right? Because I
He
saw
almost
the
died.
yeah, big
post
He
time.
almost
and I was
died.
like,
I'll
whoa.
explain this. I was at my girlfriend's house and we were like, so our bassist, our old bassist, Elliot, before we got the new guy, Matt, he left pretty much because he went to go join Madaside. Well, he was in Madaside, but he told us
He was
that he was
filling
only,
in. He said, yeah, he said he
yeah, he
was
told us
filling
that they
in.
were helping him out. Which then turned to I'm leaving you guys to go join them full time. And we were like, okay, fuck. So we assumed that Evan, who was his friend that he brought into the band, our lead guitarist now, we assumed
Yeah,
that he was also leaving because he wasn't
because
responding to us full
yeah,
stop.
He didn't respond for like a week, and we were like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, we're done for.
And we
We're
were like,
done
fuck.
for."
And
Man.
Dowie, he was still there, but he wasn't responding much either.
No, he was. We were just like, we just didn't know what to do because we were just like fucked. We were just like, what the
We
fuck
lost
do we do?
like important members that we needed. And then we were just like,
100%.
fuck, this is it. We're going to need to put exhaust on the back burner for a
So
while.
yeah, I think we called our manager and discussed it with him, and he held us off as well. But honestly, and then that post, then Evan, who our
2
lead
minutes.
guitarist,
2 minutes.
2 minutes after he rang, he saw the post, he rang me, he was like, "What the fuck's going on? What the fuck's going on?" I was like, "Well, bro, you haven't answered me for like a week, and you're just like." But he said he's staying, and then that night, the bassist we have now messaged me saying, "Oh, do you guys like need a bass player?" I was like, "Yeah," and he can drive, so he drives us places.
Being revived within a matter of
Yeah,
8 minutes.
yeah,
It happens, like member changes, like especially like a band, as young as you guys. It's it's bound to happen. It's just like making
100%.
sure you're ready for it, and you have
Yeah,
protocols. Because a lot of bands, they'll lose a member and it totally fucks them up and they're just not ready for it or they weren't
yeah,
prepared.
Well,
So it's
exactly.
we played a
That's what.
gig. Our most recent gig, we played. Was it in Fuel? It was in Fuel, and
Yeah,
our bassist couldn't come. And luckily, our
old
first
gig.
bassist ever, was in the area because he was in the army, but he came off because he was on a break or something for the summer. And we asked him, "Oh, do you reckon you can just hop on for this one gig?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure."
And he
So
did,
we
yeah.
got him
And it was
that one
cool.
gig, which was
Yeah.
lucky.
But we've now discussed it with everyone, and like it's like it is like a hobby, but like it is getting slightly more serious now. Like we are playing around the UK. Like we're not just playing a gig every fucking 3 months in the same venue. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's getting
Yeah,
a bit more like. So I was like, we do need to like, you can't just say yeah, and then you're like, oh, maybe not. Like it is commitment now. Like it either is yes or you're fucking gone. Like
Yeah.
not that I want to get him kicked, but it's like it is getting
It's
serious.
because we've been fucked around so much in the
Yeah,
past.
100%.
It's just we've nearly died like multiple times, but the last time was like kind of the realization that if this happens again, it's probably going to be over for us. So we gotta just avoid costs. So,
yeah, it's shit gets so expensive. I've heard. I don't know what it's like over
Yeah.
there, but here
Honestly,
it's rough.
I'm in so much debt. It's fucked. It's not good, mate. Me and Ethan have put so much money into this band. We put like a good together. I think we put like 10K in this band overall.
Shit.
It's crazy, bro. Bro, it's crazy. It's not
On
just
what,
it's not
like
just
equipment or
yeah. Like that's like recently I've like my equipment setup has been so fucking dog shit. Like I've got a cheapy cab over there, but I picked up a JVM for £300, which is like such a bargain because
nice.
brand new they cost like 1 grand. So I picked that up, and then I bought 2 new pedals over the weekend. So our equipment is getting better, and Ethan's got like a really big drum set. He's got a double pedal fucking whole kit.
Yeah.
Like it's
It's
crazy.
from the 80s as well. It was from I want to say 1983.
Sick.
There was a
Nice.
pill set. I like
But
pill.
yeah. Like the
Um,
money wise, it's gone towards. Like we used to practice in this place where we'd have to pay to use the practice room, but now we're practicing at this pub, which just lets practice it for free. But we do need to like donate like £10 every time. But it's so much cheaper, and just like fucking
more affordable for us.
gig posters and fucking
Yeah.
artwork and recordings and all shit like that. It's just fucking just so much money into it, and it's so expensive too. Like it isn't cheap at all.
And that's the surface of everything too, because it's like we were
100%.
talking about. Then you have to learn how to be an influencer. Then you have to like maybe get some
Literally,
editing software.
yeah,
It's fucked, man. And I
it
know
is.
like to get TikToks, it's like for people to edit them, I think it's like around $30 to $50 here for like just one.
I had to learn though. That's
Crazy.
like, especially with TikToks, I just found like what kind of works. I'm not amazing at it. I wouldn't say I'm amazing at it, but like I've kind of found like a little bit of a
Humble. Let's stay humble.
Yeah.
I'm joking, bro.
'Cause we were
No,
at,
yeah,
like,
bro. He made a he made a TikTok the other day and it blew up. So he thinks he's an influencer now.
You put them on Instagram too. Instagram gets better.
I know. I did realize that. Like the reels are, they
I only post on Instagram. I have no luck with fucking TikTok.
Speaking of, there is a guy who he followed us not too long ago, like 3 months ago, and he had like not even 100 followers. I swear, God, he had like 80 followers, and he was just promoting like little bands, and he's just taking the piss. He has got 8,000 followers now on TikTok. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, how have you done that?"
it's going a bit mental.
Within like 3 months, he's gained like 8K followers. Like, what the fuck? You're either
What was he
buying them,
posting?
just like metal stuff. He's just taking the piss. Like he's just like he's made this wall where he's like each follower goes towards a different genre or something,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and he's just like doing shit like that, and he's just like funny. He's like taking the piss a bit, but like,
sounds
where the fuck are you finding 8,000 people? Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I think we do. I think we just need to. I think the social media platform, you just need to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Well, I do
Big
want to
thing.
ask about like, we've talked about the music a lot, but like I'd love to know like more of your songwriting process. Like what does that look like?
Yeah.
How old is some of the oldest material? Because like
Oh, dude.
talk to bands and like they'll tell me that like, they'll put out a song and it's like 10 years old. It's like, what?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I've got bro. I come home after work every day and I just play my guitar and I try and make stuff. I've got so many riffs on my phone. So I usually record like a riff, and if it's good enough, then I send it to Ethan. I
Yeah.
get his opinion on it if he thinks it's good enough. And there are so many riffs like from back like a year ago we just haven't used that I do want to use. There are like 2 or 3 riffs that are good riffs. But honestly, it's usually I kind of find a riff, I see who fucks with it. Then usually it's me and Ethan jam it and see what happens. We add a few different riffs that I've got as well, see if it all fits. And then if we're happy with like a little skeleton of rhythm and drums of the basis of the song, then we add like lead guitar, then we add what vocals on and bass and stuff like that. But we're trying to do it more collectively as a band now instead of it just being like me and Ethan. But I feel like the process works when it's like we have a riff, then we go through it with you, and then if the guys like the riff and shit, then we just work from there.
Yeah. So Curb Stomp, was that like a collective that was like the whole band coming together?
Kind of, yeah. We were at practice, and I think it's the main riff, the one. I think I played that, and I was like, damn, that's a good fucking riff. Like that is fucking killer. And then we did that, and then I came up with the verse riff.
Yeah.
And it was quite catchy. Like it was all quite catchy, including the intro was pretty fucking heavy too. But the last fast bit was Evan's riff. He just started fucking playing it, and I was like, "Yo, that is fire. That is fucking sick. That is very cool." So we added that to the end because it's quite heavy, headbangy, and then
good ass riff.
it's very fucking fast and it's like speed. So we added that in, and yeah, and with the vocals too, I think it's very cool. I think over time it'll be very catchy live because it's and especially what it's about. If you like, it's like especially with the state of the UK, our prime minister isn't doing anything good. So it's about like shit like that, and I think it'll catch on hopefully through the years. Like I think it'll get like it'll be like an anthem hopefully when we play it live. Yeah, it'll be very cool.
Awesome. Well, guys, it was awesome talking to you. This was sick as fuck.
100%.
I'll have you back on the podcast at some point. You know, we got to get you over to the US.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Come on.
If you guys, are, if you get out of debt and you win the lottery and decide to come over, I do know a couple promoters who can definitely help you guys out.
Oh, hell yeah, man. That'd be a dream.
It'd be so sick, because
100%.
like there's so many thrash fans here.
Exactly. I think it'd be such good exposure. It's just money.
Apart from Wales coming to America to go play,
that'd be crazy, bro. Honestly, a dream. It's a dream. We can make it happen, though. Honestly.
Well, let's make it happen for sure. It was great talking to you guys. Sorry I can't get you any, access, this podcast to see Exodus or anything, but
no, don't worry, man. It's just a pleasure talking to you, man. It's great.
Great talking to you guys too. Always a pleasure, man. This has been great. My name is Brandon Battick, and this is Disturbing the Priest.